All right, guys, so here's the deal. We are literally just a day or two away from what I think could be one of the most massive updates Dead Rails has ever had. Maybe it's even tomorrow, maybe the day after, right? But either way, this is big. You probably remember me saying it before, but it's worth repeating. This update is confirmed to bring one of the most anticipated features we've been waiting for: class mastery. This isn't just speculation, it's 100% happening. Rico Miller himself confirmed it in Discord. So no clickbait here, this is real. And not only do we have class mastery coming, but we're also getting a full new interface overhaul, along with reworked textures across the game. That's why I genuinely believe this update will feel like a huge step forward for Dead Rails. Not just a content drop, but a complete refresh. Honestly, I'm really happy it's coming out now because I've been sick the last few days. I know some of you noticed I didn't upload for more than 4 days. Sorry about that, but don't worry. I'm back now, and I'm planning to upload daily again. Actually, I'll be switching it up. One day I'll be uploading 99 Nights in the Forest, and the next day I'll be covering Dead Rails. So if you want to help motivate me to keep that pace, please hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and leave a comment. It really helps more than you know. But alright, enough of that, let's get into today's video. You guys already know how this goes. There's that suggestions tab in the official Dead Rails Discord, and every now and then the devs actually do pull ideas from there. I've said this in pretty much every video, but I'll say it again. None of the ideas I'm about to cover are confirmed. They're not guaranteed to show up in-game right after this video. But because they're some of the most popular and creative suggestions from the community, there's always a chance the devs will notice them and decide to adapt something. So, with that out of the way, let's dive in. I want to start with something I've personally been really excited about: the canyon rails. I've touched on this idea before, but I want to expand it because I think it could be one of the most visually striking POIs in the game. Picture this. You boot up Dead Rails after the new update, and instead of just another camp or small outpost, you stumble into a massive canyon stretching as far as you can see. The tracks don't just run across flat ground anymore, they're suspended high above the void on half-collapsed bridges, shaky beams, and rusted supports. Every step you take on those rails feels dangerous, and there's always that tiny chance, not high but possible, that part of the bridge gives way. Down below, if you peer through the fog, you'll notice the remains of old trains that didn't make it across. Some are broken in half, others are hanging by twisted steel, and you can actually climb down to scavenge loot from them. But it's risky. There are no ladders, no easy way back up. You'd have to scout paths beforehand if you want to get back out alive. On top of that, I think this location could tie into a new mechanic: train modifications. Right now, trains feel kind of static. Even when you buy a new one, it doesn't stay exciting for long. So imagine being able to add modules. An extra passenger car, maybe a new engine at the front for extra speed, or a reinforced cargo hold. These wouldn't just be cosmetic, they'd actually change gameplay, making your train feel unique. Now let's move into the community suggestions, starting with one from Elysium that caught my eye. It's called the Witch Hut. This would be a new mini-structure that spawns multiple times per run. Inside, you'd find a witch who can throw potions at you and even fly around on a broom. But here's the twist. Sometimes the hut itself stands up on chicken-like legs and moves around the map for a while before settling again. Inside the hut, you wouldn't just stumble upon random junk. You'd actually discover a set of 12 unique potions that completely change the way a run can play out. Alongside the usual loot like glass bottles, strange liquids, or even the rare magic broom that lets you soar through the air for 15 seconds before crashing back down, the potions themselves stand out as the real prize. Some of them are straightforward, like the Speedster potion that wraps you in a glowing yellow aura and pushes your movement to insane levels, or the stronger potion that floods you with a dark red energy and makes your melee swings devastating. Others are more unpredictable. The memory loss potion, for example, sends nearby enemies into confusion until they start tearing into each other, while the sticky trap potion covers the ground in a green sludge that drags enemies down and makes them sluggish. Then there are potions that completely shift the environment. Ice Age turns the floor into a frozen battlefield where enemies slip, slow down, and even lose some of their health, while Sky Touch fills the area with a strange mist that lifts foes helplessly into the air. Not all of them are purely offensive, though. Shiny armor can surround your body with a blinding light that makes you bulletproof for a short time, while Guardian Flames summon fire orbs that orbit around you, punishing anyone that gets too close. Some lean into the bizarre, like void arms, where black tentacles burst out of the ground to lash at enemies, or the monster repellent potion that forces zombies, wolves, and even vampires to keep their distance. And then there's the Soul Taker, a truly eerie one. It damages enemies just enough that when they fall, they don't stay down but return as ghostly allies with doubled stats, ready to fight at your side. Rounding it out is the High Jumper potion, which sends you leaping higher than ever, letting you reach spots and angles you normally couldn't. The beauty of it is that no two Witch Hut encounters would ever feel the same. Depending on what potions you manage to snag, you could end up sprinting through areas like lightning, turning hordes of enemies against each other, or even marching with an army of ghostly followers. So yeah, good idea. Next up we have Gigazard's idea, the Abyssal Spire. This one feels like a late-game biome expansion. Imagine the coastland biome reaching its final part, where a massive sea tower rises out of the ocean. It's a vertical dungeon, essentially, with water currents running through every level. At the summit, King Triton is sealed inside a water chamber, but before you get there, you'd have to collect barnacle shells hidden throughout coastal houses and place them on a shore altar. When you do, the ocean glows and the tower emerges from the deep. The tower itself would be guarded by mermen of varying rarities, from dull blues to vibrant cosmic shades. Water currents constantly push you around, making combat feel different than anywhere else. At the very top, you'd face King Triton himself in a boss fight. He wields his trident to summon waves, whirlpools, and even lightning. If you manage to defeat him, you'd earn the Trident of the Tides, a weapon that only works when you're standing in water, but gives you insane water-based attacks. And outside the tower, mermaids swim around the coast, rare and valuable finds compared to the mermen. Another fun suggestion is a seasonal one, Spooked Rails. Imagine October rolls around and Dead Rails transforms into a limited-time Halloween event. Every zombie becomes a skeleton, and the entire world is permanently stuck in darkness. Every night is either a blood moon or a full moon. During blood moons, skeletons turn into vampires with crazy speed buffs. During full moons, wolves transform into werewolves, making them even deadlier. If you survive long enough to beat the event, you unlock the Ghost class, a unique class that can turn invincible for a few seconds and even fly short distances. This would give players a reason to return to the game each Halloween, adding replayability and an exclusive reward. So yeah, that's the roundup for today. The Canyon Rails, Witch Hut, Abyssal Spire, Spooked Rails. Honestly, if even a fraction of these ideas make it into the game, Dead Rails will feel fresh for months, and with the confirmed update literally just around the corner, I can't wait to see how much changes overnight. I'll keep covering it all, of course, and I'll be back tomorrow with either Dead Rails or 99 Nights in the Forest, so make sure you're here for that. If you've got your own ideas, drop them in the comments. I always check them, and who knows, maybe the devs will too. Thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you in the next one.